Hi, my name is Janie.
And mine's Marshall.
I was challenged to do the ALS Bucket Challenge by my sister.
I was not.
However, I recruited him.
But we are changing things up a bit.
Marshall and I were married last week. It was a wonderful day and we were so happy.
We had many days where so much attention was on us, and our lives were all about our relationship and our wedding.
When the wedding was over and our eyes opened back up to the world, we discovered that the Ice Bucket Challenge was a thing. There is fighting in the Middle East, there's genocide, there are children starving, there are people who are homeless, hungry, and without clean water to drink.
No, this wasn't a revelation. We knew the world was not perfect, but we got so wrapped up in our own lives that we forgot about the lives of others.
We want to help. If we could, we would help everyone, every charity, every organization, and every humanitarian effort.
But we can't.
We can, however, help raise awareness for these things, and we can help people suffering directly.
So we are here to do a challenge and to raise awareness.
Everyone by now has heard of the Ice Bucket Challenge. There are thousands of videos of people dumping ice water over their heads. When it first started, I thought it was dumb. I was actually pretty angry that people were doing this to avoid paying for a charity. I thought that was the case because the videos I saw, the only mention of donating was if you did not complete the challenge. Now, thankfully, that has been shamed enough that most people do not dare post a video without donating also.
The point of the video is to raise awareness. Yes, donations are good, and the ALSA has raised a lot of funds in addition to the awareness. Now that the Ice Bucket Challenge is a thing, many people who have never heard of ALS now know about it.
I was one of those people. I had no clue what a horrible disease ALS was until I heard about it and did my research. I am so glad that it has gotten the attention and donations that it has. I hope that the money raised will help people cope and that one day there may be a cure.
We also hope that awareness and donations can be raised for other causes.
Many diseases have touched our lives or the lives of people close to us. Some of these include cerebral palsy, cancer, and juvenile diabetes.
When you make a donation to a research organization, it helps. It does. We are not denying that at all, but only a small percentage of that money goes to research, goes to actually help people who need it.
We wanted to make sure that the money we donated went to people who need it for medical expenses. We wanted to bless people with even a small amount of financial relief. Stop. So we took to the internet in search of someone we could help. I contacted several ALS groups on Facebook, but sadly no one replied to me. And we don't know anyone with the disease. We still wanted to help though, so we decided to help people suffering from other diseases. We also want to educate people about them. Bear with us, the challenges are coming. Yes, I said challenges. We are doing more than one.
I have cerebral palsy. Many people have no clue what it is.
7 years ago, I didn't know what it was. Sadly, that was even after I met Marshall. I had never asked him why he was disabled because it didn't matter to me at the time. 7 years ago, I met another guy who had cerebral palsy and finally learned what it was, how it happens, and what it does to the person who has it.
I'm lucky. I have a pretty mild case of cerebral palsy. There are people with cerebral palsy who are better off than I am, but there are some who are much, much worse.
Cerebral palsy is caused by damage to the motor control centers of the developing brain and can occur during pregnancy, during childbirth, or after birth, up to about age 3. It can cause partial paralysis, weakening of the muscles, trouble speaking, depth perception issues, seizures, and problems with cognition.
Cerebral palsy is not an infectious disease and is not contagious. There is no cure, but there are efforts being made to attempt treating and preventing complications. Luckily, it's a non-progressive disease, meaning that it will never get worse. However, complications from the disease can worsen over time. For me, my legs, specifically my knees, are getting worse.
Marshall, like most children with cerebral palsy, spent a lot of time crawling because he could not walk. He still crawls. It is easier for him to get around that way. Unfortunately, that causes him a lot of pain in his knees.
When I was younger, I wore AFOs and went to physical therapy. That helped a lot, but I stopped until just recently. During that time, I regressed a lot, and I've spent every day in increasing pain. Now I'm hoping that it's not too late and to get back on the right track.
We want to make sure that other children with cerebral palsy get on the right track and stay on it. That is why we are donating $100 to Riley Lunsford, a beautiful little 4-year-old boy who is going to be getting a surgery to help him walk. We wish you all the luck in the world, Riley. Stay strong and never give up on your dream to walk.
These pies are for you, Riley. Ready?
You first.
You want me to take it first or you want it first? Oh!
Fantastic.
Oh, God. Okay, I can't see.
My mother's name was Peggy White. She had juvenile diabetes. At the age of 38, she died from complications of her diabetes. Her kidneys had failed, she got a transplant, and those failed. While she was in the hospital, she passed away from an infection that attacked her body.
My mom has type 2 diabetes, and my grandmother died during a dialysis after her kidneys started to fail as a complication of diabetes. Marshall and I are both at risk for diabetes, and our children will be too. This is a horrible disease where you're constantly fighting your body just to be able to live a normal life and to eat normal food.
There is no cure for juvenile diabetes, but it can be managed with insulin, diet, and exercise. If you take care of yourself, you can live a relatively normal life. Taking care of yourself can be difficult though. It was for my mom.
It can also be very expensive. As everyone knows, it is much more expensive to eat healthy than to eat junk food. People with diabetes also have to spend money on blood glucose monitors, testing strips, needles, insulin, sometimes pumps, and continuous glucose monitoring systems.
We want to help out, even though it won't be much. There is a 6-year-old boy named Taylor Kendrick who has type 1 juvenile diabetes. We are donating $100 for his medical expenses. Good luck, Taylor.
These pies are for you, Taylor. Okay, guys. Cancer is a horrible thing that has touched far too many lives. It has touched mine several times. I've had a cancer scare myself, and I have watched 2 men that I cared about die from lung cancer. The most recent was my friend Kay. He was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer in April 2013. I was heartbroken. He passed away in March of this year, 2014. I had also watched my ex's father die from the same thing. I knew what was coming, but it killed me that it was so advanced when he found out, because it meant we had even less time together. It was the hardest thing I've ever done, saying goodbye to him. Cancer scares me more now than anything. We don't have to tell you how horrible cancer is. Everyone knows. What we want to tell you about is the strength that people show when they are diagnosed.
The next person we want to tell you about is Madison Daniels. She is a beautiful little girl, 7 years old. Not too long ago, she was diagnosed with Ewing's sarcoma, a form of bone cancer.
Madison recently had a large portion of bone removed from her left leg. She will get the cast off next week. They thought it would be over after that surgery, but it isn't. They were just told that Madison will have to undergo radiation after her cast is removed.
She will also have to do another round of chemo soon, and will not be able to do any real physical activity for a year until her leg heals. Even through all of this, she smiles. on her mom's Facebook page, you can see many beautiful smiling pictures of this little girl.
Her mom said that Madison is a true believer of God. She has a heart for the Lord, and cancer, chemo, radiation, surgery, nothing is going to bring her down.
Madison, you are a true hero. You can make it. We would like to donate $100 to your medical expenses.
These pies are for you. I love you.
Yeah. Go.
Okay.
As we stated earlier, we contacted several ALS groups and received no reply.
We still plan to help someone out, though. We just have to wait for a reply.
We don't need to tell you how bad ALS is either. There are many educational videos out there on how horrible or of a degenerative disease it is. We just hope we can help a little bit by donating $100 to someone's medical expenses.
These pies are for those with ALS. Okay, alright.
Okay, should we wash all this off?
Yeah, I guess we should. Let's get the bucket.
No, I'll just sit here. You know, easier for you to do that.
Yeah, I'll get it. Alright, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, you sure?
Yeah.
I lost my voice. We aren't going to waste this water. It's going to help our dogs stay cool out here in this heat.
We have one more donation to make.
We are making a $100 donation to Charity Water. They donate 100% of their public donations to provide clean drinking water to countries in Africa, Asia, Central, and South America.
Currently, they have a campaign going on where a private donor will match every dollar donated up to $1 million.
We know this was longer than your normal ice bucket challenge video, but we hope this opened your eyes to real people that need our help, as well as other diseases that need attention.
Links to donate to the ALSA, the American Diabetes Association, Research for the Stars, Cerebral Palsy Foundation, the Cancer Research Institute, and Charity Water are posted below.
We are also including links to Taylor, Madison, and Riley's fundraising pages.
Find a cause that you believe in, that has touched your life, and donate. Help real people. Show our world that humanitarian efforts aren't just on social media or in foreign countries. They can be in your own hometown.
We challenge you to love someone.